Hello and welcome to Newsline. I'm Claire with the rhythm and chime and the heritage that flows gently through Adelabu Abdurrazak. It's been a quiet, emotional week for many Nigerians. Now, the passing of former President Muhammadu Buhari stirred not just headlines, but also hearts, whether admired or opposed. He surely was a man of paradoxes, firm yet unexpectedly witty. So as he was laid to rest in Dara, one era quietly gave way to memory. Tonight on Newsline, we will laugh a little, remembering the man behind the myth through the lens of those who caught the twinkle behind the stare and those who knew the man and not just the portrait. We will also journey to sacred grooves of tradition, exploring how spaces once labeled as shrines are evolving, striking up conversations, or shall I say, handshakes with modern reality. Then, of course, beauty, once a quiet muse, now booming like a marketplace, from creams to curves, filters to fixes. Everyone, male or female, seems to be chasing a little extra glow. But what's driving it? Is it confidence, conformity, or commerce? Expect plenty of strong opinions on Newsline tonight. Tonight's Newsline is a journey through identity, legacy, and of course, desire. And in a slightly refreshed rhythm, I'll be your pilot-in-chief tonight, navigating Newsline Airways with a little flair and a whole lot of heart. So please get cozy, grab your evening brew or whatever your vibe is. I'll just blink an eye once and be right back with the news. And President Bola Tinubu has joined leaders, particularly in the Southwest, to carry on the values of consistency, sincerity, and boldness that the late Abuja of Ijebu-land, Oba Sikiru Kaode Adetono, represented. President Tinubu was in Ijebu at the eighth day prayers for the deceased, who was one of the longest-serving traditional rulers in Nigeria. And State House correspondent Musbaud Wahab reports.
This is another important outing for President Bola Tinubu and First Lady Oluremi. The president returning to the palace of Awujale in Ijebu-Ode, to where he made his first official visit shortly after his inauguration in 2023. This time to honor the memory after the exit of one of the monarchs he so revered. Even in death, President Tinubu carried on the love and respect for the departed as he proceeded to the Dikwa Dinner Stadium for the 8th day prayers. Dignitaries joined Ijebu indigenes here to seek God acceptance for the 57th Awujale at the end of his 65-year reign.
Our tomorrow, will it be better than today? It depends on what we are doing.
President Tinubu, who recounted the role of the king in the June 12th struggle and the support he got from him ahead of his election, believed the monarch lived a fulfilled life characterized by great virtues.
Leader of conscience, tradition, and a great value. He brought pride, dignity, and honor to the Yoruba race. I'm extremely proud of him. Very honest, very bold, very courageous, very truthful. He will not deceive you. We have to be more united. His legacy we endure. It's left for you and I to reflect the culture, the value that he represented. God Almighty will grant him a legion of Fidaus.
Under his watchful gaze and inspirational leadership, Ijebuland witnessed unprecedented progress. It became the bridge between our cherished past and our promising future. His enduring contribution to the unity, pride, and identity of the Ijebu people will be remembered for many generations.
He was also at the palace where he met and condoled with family members of the departed traditional ruler. The President and First Lady Oluremi paid their last respect as they laid wreaths on the royal tomb of the deceased. Late Obasikiru Kayode Adetona, whose demise coincided with that of former President Muhammadu Buhari, was 91. The President is back in Abuja. Musbah then Wahab, NTA News.
And elsewhere, Muslims in their numbers held a special prayer session for the repose of the soul of late former Nigerian leader Muhammadu Buhari. The dua session was organized by the Ansaruddin Islamic Society. Abubakar Kwanga reports.
We pray that Allah will forgive our father.
It was a solemn moment at the Ansaruddin Mosque, but this time tears and sorrows had fizzled away and were replaced with fervent prayers for the repose of the soul of the late former President Muhammadu Buhari. Islamic scholars and other religious adherents observed recitation of the glorious Quran. Former ministers in the late president's cabinet and other prominent Nigerians who attended the seventh-day prayer session described Buhari as a true patriot who redefined leadership in Nigeria and appreciated President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his exemplary leadership during the demise of the former president.
We'll continue to pray for him. Everybody is praying for him, and we thank everyone for the prayers.
I may not have worshipped with them the way they worship, but at least I was present to honor President Buhari.
Continue to pray for him, whether you're Muslim or Christian. We ask all our leaders, from councillor to president, that she emulate him.
I recommend everyday prayer, and prayer also for our leaders.
Scholars and personalities appealed to Nigerians to sustain prayers for present and departed Nigerian leaders. Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
And the most senior member of the Buhari family, Maman Dara, on behalf of his family, expressed gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his wife, the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, for their role and that of the government of the Federation before and after the passing of former President Muhammadu Buhari. The family said in a statement that it takes comfort in receiving such support from the President and the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, who went to the United Kingdom and Daura with ministers during the mourning period. The family says it is deeply grateful to the President for thoughtfully declaring a public holiday and renaming the University of Maiduguri after Buhari. The family also sends their gratitude to the federal government, interministerial committee, friends, sympathizers, Nigerians and leaders of the various countries around the world who either came in person, sent representatives, letters, or placed personal telephone calls to commiserate. Of special note, the family says, as the King of England, King Charles III, Secretary General of the United Nations, Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed, Chairman of the African Union, and that of the Committee of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS countries, and former Head of State, Abdul Salami Abubakar. The family says it will continue to appreciate all key players and Nigerians in general for their overwhelming support. Now, the Senate has reaffirmed that there is no subsisting court order mandating the Senate to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan before the expiration of her suspension. Chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Publicity Affairs, Yemi Adaramodu, in a statement, says this clarification becomes necessary following the circulating claims by the suspended senator that she intends to resume at the Senate on Tuesday based on the recent judgment delivered by Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court, Abuja. The statement advises Senator Natasha to refrain from any attempt to storm the Senate on Tuesday, as doing so would violate due process. And the Minister of Works, David Umahi, has appealed to Messrs CGC Nigeria Limited, the contractor currently working in the FCT, to urgently begin the redesign and molding of a replacement beam for the Kefi flyover, while salvaging the other two that were partially affected. Assessing the damage at the Kefi flyover, recently damaged by an overburdened truck, Umahi explained that the process is expected to take approximately 30 days, after which a strength test will be conducted before reinstallation. The minister emphasized that the integrity of the structure will be fully restored before reopening the flyover.
The carriageway, the underpass, will clear it, motorists are passing. But the overpass, that's the Nasarawa Barren, is closed for traffic. And so this is an emergency situation, so I'll be pleading with CGC to start the redesign. And we intend to knock off part of the carriageway and then knock off the parapet and the walkway. So I will be pleading with CGC to take the measurement of the beams, exactly the shape, the design, the configuration, so that they start to mold it.
These emergency repairs, he explained, will be handled through an intervention fund pending the release of resources. While commiserating with families, he notes that the president has directed immediate remedial action to restore the facility. Now, one of Africa's largest telecommunication network providers, Mobile Telephone Network, MTN, Nigeria, has again rewarded some of its loyal customers with mouth-watering cash prizes at the company's ongoing nationwide Mega Billion promo. Diana Ajale, who witnessed the 26th day of the live draws in Lagos, reports that the promo is geared towards producing 195 millionaires and a total of more than 5,400 winners within a period of 90 days.
Hey, the Lord. Big congratulations to our mega jackpot winner. You just won yourself 10 million Nigerian naira.
The recent MTN's adjustment to voice and data tariffs and the Mega Billion promo initiative is to cushion the impact of change while delivering visible and immediate value to subscribers. Management of MTN Nigeria says it underscores the company's commitment to customer centricity.
We're not just about taking, we're also about sharing what we have, and we believe in rewarding customers who have been loyal to us, while in the same vein also driving the digital and financial inclusivity.
At the end of the promo, we're going to have about 10 million naira winners. We also have daily winners of 5 million naira. So again, at the end of the promo, we're going to have 5 million times 12 weeks. So quite a number of people. To date, we have over 25 million winners.
The process for claims of wins, so the winner will be contacted and will be asked to confirm transfers to be done to them.
All you need to do is to dial *900, select option 1 to join the Mega Billions promo, and then just continue to recharge. You may want to recharge more, you may want to recharge less, but the fact of the matter is your number goes in and could be picked for this opportunity.
The 3 months ongoing nationwide MTN's Mega Billion promo is expected to run from July to September 21, 2025. With a total of 1 billion naira out for grabs for eligible MTN subscribers between the ages of 18 and above.
Don't forget, 300. That is the only way we'll contact you.
In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
The United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed has commended Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf for his commitment to advancing social development and promoting the Sustainable Development Goals. She gave the commendation during a courtesy visit to the governor at the Kano Government House. Abdullahi Mustafa has the details.
The United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed is in Kano following a condolence visit to the family of the late former President Muhammadu Buhari in Daura. Beyond the condolence gesture, the visit was also aimed to deepen advocacy for the Sustainable Development Goals and to enhance collaboration between the United Nations and the Kano State Government. Discussions focus on key areas including healthcare, renewable energy, climate change and human capital development. While Governor Yusuf reaffirmed Kano's commitment to strategic partnerships with UN agencies in critical sectors such as education, healthcare, environmental protection, climate action, renewable energy and sustainable investment, the UN Deputy Chief assured him of the UN's full support and cooperation.
This is a center of much production and activity, young people, population, governance, and to hear really what the challenges are, how much progress you have made, and what can we do in the UN to support that in health, in education, in agriculture, in power.
Mrs. Mohammed also briefed the governor on the upcoming UN Business and Investment Forum, highlighting the potential opportunities for Kano State to attract international partnerships and investments. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
In a renewed effort to tackle the persistent challenge of childhood malnutrition, the Borno State government, in collaboration with UNICEF, has officially launched and handed over 2,254 cartons of ready-to-use therapeutic food for onward distribution to health centers across Borno State. Now, the life-saving commodities were procured through the Child Nutrition Fund, CNF, with support from UNICEF and the state government. Pauline Kujivana was there.
Malnutrition remains a major public health concern in Borno State, exacerbated by years of insurgency, displacement, and the effect of climate change. Hence, this intervention showcasing the importance of collaboration and strategic investment in child survival. Head of Nutrition and lead of UNICEF Field Office Maiduguri, Joseph Victor Senasel, stressed the need for continuous synergy between state actors and development partners to ensure long-term solutions to malnutrition.
The government provided around 100 million naira last year, and with the Child Nutrition Fund, which UNICEF is managing, contributed the same amount to procure the 2,254 cartons of RETF we have handed over today.
The impact of malnutrition, especially in brain damage to our young ones in the first 1,000 days of their life, is crucial. It's important that all of us work together to be able to get rid of this malnutrition.
This event highlighted the growing commitment of Borno State government to improving child nutrition and strengthening health system to secure a healthier future for vulnerable populations. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
And President Bola Tinubu congratulates Major General David Jemibewon, retired on his 85th birthday. President Tinubu joins the family and friends of the retired general to celebrate this special occasion. General Jemibewon served as military governor of the Western State from August 1975 to March 1976 as General Officer commanding 1st Infantry Division and later as Adjutant General of the Nigerian Army. After retiring from the Army, General Jemibewon studied law and practiced. He served as Minister of Police Affairs from 1999 to 2000 and undertook specific reforms in the force. The President commends General Jemibewon for his decades of service to the nation. And the Mayor of Houston, Mayor John Whitmire, has called for direct flights between Nigeria and Houston, as well as opening of a Nigeria consulate in the state. This was the highlight of the meeting between Abike Dabire Erewa, Chairman CEO, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, and Mayor Pro Tem Martha Castex Tatum, representing Mayor John Whitmire in Texas, USA. The mayor said these measures will further deepen collaboration in areas such as consular representation, trade, and diaspora engagement. He also stressed that such measures would enhance services and opportunities for the Nigerian community in Houston. On the call for the establishment of a Nigerian consulate in Houston and commencement of direct flights, Dabiri hints that the ministers of Foreign Affairs and Aviation in Nigeria are already looking into both requests. All right, time to pause now and bring in Badi Adeleye with Sports Update. Hello, Badi.
Hi, Claire. All right, let's begin with basketball. As the Nigerian Under-19 girls wrapped up their maiden campaign at the FIBA Under-19 Women's Basketball World Cup, finishing 12th overall in a historic first appearance. In the final game, which was the 11th place classification match, Nigeria fell 96-71 to China, concluding their campaign with 2 wins and 5 losses over 7 games. Despite the defeat, signs of growth and promise shone through. Iduba Mobegi stood out with 18 points, 5 rebounds and 6 assists, while Ezike nearly recorded a double-double with 12 points and 9 rebounds. Hembam contributed 10 points and Momoluwa Tewogbade added 9 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists. Straight to football, but we're still talking about the women as Nigeria's Super Falcons have resumed training ahead of their semi-final clash at the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations against perennial rivals South Africa in Casablanca on Tuesday. With members of the Nigeria Sports Fraternity drumming their support for Justin Madugu's ladies, women's societies in Nigeria have also been celebrating the performance of the 9-time African champions. The latest is coming from the president of the National Council of Women's Societies, NCWS, Edna Azura, who charged the Super Falcons to bring the trophy back home for the 10th time.
Our daughters, we are proud of you. We are very, very proud of you. All we are doing for you as Nigerian and even the entirety of Nigeria, we are praying for you. Please bring the cup. Bring the cup to Nigeria. We are very, very proud of you. You are doing us wonderful.
Still on football, the Nigeria Under-20 boys team, the Flying Eagles, have booked their place in the final of the 2025 WAFU B Under-20 Boys Championship in Ghana after a dramatic penalty shootout victory over Niger Republic. The Flying Eagles were made to work hard for their place in the final, with their counter ending goalless after regulation time. Nigeria triumphed 4-3 in shootout, with the defending champions scoring 4 of their 5 kicks, while Niger managed to convert only 3. The Flying Eagles will now face the Young Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire in what will be their 3rd consecutive final on Wednesday. The Ivorians beat Ghana, the host country, 2-1 earlier this evening. And to a bit of golf before we go, Scotty Scheffler claimed a 4th major title and completed a 3rd leg of the career Grand Slam by cruising to a dominant 4-shot victory at the Open. The world #1 took a 4-shot lead into the final day at Royal Portrush and quickly asserted further control by making 3 birdies in his first 5 holes. Scheffler added 1 more birdie to close out a 3-under 68 and end the week on 17 under with his victory. And that does it on sports. Let's return to Claire.
Thank you, Badi. All right, let's take a quick look now at the weather prospects for tomorrow, Monday.
Thank you for joining us on the weather forecast. We start off the week with prospects of morning rains in the coastal cities of Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Bayelsa, and Delta states. The possibilities of morning thunderstorms and rains in parts of Sokoto, Kebbi, Adamawa, and Taraba, while other parts of the country will be mostly cloudy, with sunshine peeking through occasionally. Stand by for the temperature outlook. Thank you for watching.
All right, that's the news. Get ready as Newsline is about to take off right now. All right, welcome to Newsline on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. Now, we all have our humorous sides. Well, I'm trying to find mine, actually. Particularly soldiers, now they say are built, just for orders, not humor. So when someone recently asked me, only half jokingly though, he says, was late former President Muhammadu Buhari even human? Well, it echoes what many people thought of his famously stern look. Honestly, I used to wonder the same myself until I met him personally, and what he said about the cloning rumor. Okay, you will get to hear that. And what about his reaction when I shyly asked for a handshake? Completely unexpected. So tonight on Newsline, we'll laugh a little. Annie Daniels will be bringing us rare stories from those who knew the late president, those aides and insiders, old friends, all sharing the lighter, witty, and surprising warm side of the man often mistaken for a statue until he raised an eyebrow or dropped a one-liner that had everyone laughing.
Late former President Muhammadu Buhari was known not only for his leadership, but also for a personality that many found likable and down to earth. Just listen to these respondents.
Just like he said the other time, that my wife belonged to the kitchen and the other room. Everybody was laughing.
I don't know which party my wife belongs to, but she belongs to my kitchen and my living room and the other room.
We all know the other room.
His vice, that was Osibanjo. He was narrating a story on the way people were criticizing him, making use of him to make fun. He was like, he's going to sue them. Buhari told him that I am here in the villa. Somebody went and printed invitation cards stating that I'm going to get married on Friday. He said, and a lot of people went to National Mosque to witness how the wedding is going to take place. I'm not aware. I don't even know anything about it. Just forget about it.
Due to the way he laughs, because I love him because of the open teeth and the uniform fitted him. When Buhari was a young man, when you saw him in the uniform, 100% you would like to join army.
Interesting. He sure has eyes for good things, and so do I. Although I never got to meet late President Muhammadu Buhari in person, but every time I saw him on television, there was this charm and warmth about him. Those who had the opportunity to meet him up close often speak of his endearing nature and youthful energy qualities that made him approachable and relatable, even in the most informal settings. Festus Keyamo, Nigeria's current Minister of Aviation, served as the spokesperson for President Buhari's 2019 campaign. He also held ministerial positions in the ministries of Niger Delta Affairs and Labour and Employment, roles that placed him in frequent briefings with the late president.
One of our candidates had a moral issue somewhere, and he was saying, Kai, he looked at all of us, he said, how can I go and raise this hand of that person in that state now? President Buhari will look at all of us and say, when he retires and is resting in Dara, when EFC start pursuing all of you, don't come and meet me. Nobody should come and knock on my door. That all of you should go and answer yourself.
We have no other country but Nigeria. Anybody who thought he had any other country than Nigeria, goodbye.
Somebody presents a memo, and then the person gets so-called attacks from everywhere to say, opposing that memo. When they get these comments, the person will turn to the person who presents the memo and say, he will say, now you have seen that everybody has brought attack to you. Defend yourself.
Here we were in Poland at the presidential town hall engagement, and the rumors had been right that he had been cloned, he was dead. Hear his response.
It's really me, I assure you.
You will expect that in such a manner he will be very angry, with such a matter, I mean. He'll be very angry, he'll be very agitated, he'll be very, he laughed over it and said, I am the one, no. I'm not cloned, though. This is the real Buhari here. That type of thing. He says, so, okay, and Baba goes slow. Those who are going fast, where have they gone to?
Baba goes slow. No, those who are going fast, where did they go to?
I did not see him one day raise his voice and in a bossy manner against anyone. He would rather listen to you quietly in that respect. Even if you made a mistake, he would quietly tell you that he doesn't think that you should have done it that way. He was a very light-hearted person, and we all loved him for it. It makes you relax around him.
Indeed, they are right. Other respondents affirm and wish more leaders would be this accessible. No bossy attitude. As Nigeria remembers her former leader, the prayers are heartfelt. May Almighty Allah grant you Al-Jannah, our dear late president.
Whoever thought that there has been some form of injustice on him, we are all humans. There is no doubt I hurt some people, and I wish they would pardon me. And those that think that I've hurt them so much, please pardon me.
He also said something about those who have diastema, the gap-toothed people, but you'll have to wait till next week to hear what the late former president said about them. So let's get on with more stories. Have you ever paused to consider the connection between culture and biodiversity? I mean, deep within the ancestral lands of the Yoruba lies a very sacred bond where tradition and nature coexist in very remarkable harmony. Now, there the rhythm of the heritage blends seamlessly with the whispers of the wild, creating a very timeless symphony of life. Kemi Oshin now takes us on a journey into the heart of Yoruba culture, revealing how its customs, beliefs, and practices preserve and protect the environment, nurturing a sanctuary where both nature and humanity flourish.
Passed down through generations, cultural practices, values, and traditions influence how people interact with nature. From the way they farm to the way they conserve, people's cultural values are reflected in their environmental attitudes, speaking not just of sustainability, but of identity, community, and heritage.
When we were younger, one of the first things we are taught is how to sweep the house, how to wash our plates when we finish eating, and also how to be sure that we wash our clothes, we're clean, how to take our bath. That's part of the environment. So it's been there.
Man cannot live peacefully without the environment. You have to interact with the environment, and it is how you make the environment work that will also determine how efficient and functional that you will be.
From time immemorial, the Yoruba cultural traditions, ritual beliefs, and practices are believed to have promoted the sustainable use of natural resources, which resonates with modern eco-friendly principles for human and environmental health.
There is a lot of synergy between Africa, particularly Yoruba culture and tradition, when it comes to conservation and maintenance of the ecosystem, including sustainability.
But as the world faces environmental crises, experts are looking beyond science for solutions. They suggest that humans, as custodians of the environment, can explore cultural heritage as a tool for biodiversity conservation.
There's this interaction between plants, animals, and humans living together without generating waste. That is the way God has created the world. And we are the superior being as human beings. We are supposed to be the ones to take care of the plants and the animals. But we are the ones generating waste. Naturally, nature harbors waste.
And it's also important to be able to trace the history of what you call waste. Each item on a waste dump has a history and has the chances for further use, for further reevaluation.
As local communities harness the power of culture to promote circular economy and ecotourism, a more sustainable future will no doubt be created for the planet and for the people.
All right, now, what happens when a youth corps member dares to dream big and even act even bigger? Now, at Government Junior Secondary School Life Camp here in Abuja, a well-equipped science laboratory now stands, donated in full by one remarkable youth corps member, Marvelous Otariho. More than just fulfilling her own civic duty or national call, this mother who's on a mission has given students a gift, a lasting value, a space to explore, to discover, and to believe. And she did so on a day that reflects everything Nelson Mandela stood for. Talk about education, empowerment, and the courage to uplift others. Here is Ayodiji Makinde with this unique and intriguing story.
Every year, the world pauses on July 18 to honor the legacy of Nelson Mandela, a man who inspired generations. Declared by the United Nations in 2009, Nelson Mandela Day is more than just a date. It's a global call to action, inviting individuals to make a lasting difference in their communities. Here in the quiet heart of Life Camp Abuja, at Government Junior Secondary School, hope takes shape in the form of glass beakers, test tubes, microscope and lab coats. A gift from Marvelous Otario, a dedicated corps member and a mother with a vision. To her, real impact begins with empowering young minds. With these tools,
we saw a challenge in the school that the students, some of them are not interested in basic science. Some, after a while, they took interest, but there's still a vacuum that she can only teach in practical, but no medium to experiment.
When setting up this laboratory, I actually my students in and asked them, can you use a microscope? And you can see that they don't even know, many of them don't even know what a microscope actually looks like. They were all amazed seeing a microscope for the first time. So this is just like the foundation we are trying to build.
The type of students I have who are very good, very, very enterprising. This laboratory will go a long way to make this school a beautiful place for all and sundry.
I wanted to be sure they understood the legacy behind this day. So I asked them, do you know who Nelson Mandela was?
No, I've not heard the name. I don't really know much.
And together, we talked about the man, the struggle, and the dream.
He was actually jailed as well for 27 years.
I will not lie because I've never seen a lab before. I wanted to be a scientist, but this lab will make me be what I want to be in future.
I've never had a lab in our school before, and I want to become a doctor, and this will make me to become what I want to be in future.
I hope I'm going very, very far with it. And at least now seeing this laboratory has given me more hope in this base science.
Bright eyes, curious minds, some shy in front of the camera, but bold in their ambition. These students now see this lab not just as a room, but a runway, one that could launch them towards a future filled with possibility. Though Nelson Mandela passed away in 2013, his life's work continues to echo around the world through efforts like Marvelous Otario's. We are reminded the power to transform lives, not just in grand gestures, but in simple acts of service and compassion.
Thank you, Ayodiji Makinde, for that story. It's not just a story, it's a very, very loud message to all those involved in, of course, our educational system. It's also a message to the private sector to also key into this, laudable, ventures. Let's move on to other more equally interesting stories. Now, Glow Telecommunications has taken its corporate social responsibility a notch higher through its Glow Foundation Skill Bridge showcasing the first set of Nigerians empowered in different skills. Lanre Bileye presents moments of celebration of these fortunate Nigerians.
Blessing Udo was nominated by her mother, Endurance Francis, who is a co-worker to Omawumi Obadina at the Lagos State Waste Management Agency, LOMA, to be part of the 150 staff that were picked by the nation's communications giants empowerment program, Glow Skill Bridge. They were being celebrated for excelling in their training.
Glow kindness and their acceptability of everyone. They actually accepted me and taught me what I have passion for and what I have been wishing to learn for long.
But I thank God Almighty for this because it goes a long way. It will help me and my family. With this, I'll be able to start my own small shop.
Our partnership today reflects the government commitment to provide employment, not even outside what they are doing as a normal work, to engage them, to ensure that they have a fallback in terms of means of livelihood.
Glow believes the move is to empower Nigerians to have more streams of income to improve their socio-economic standing.
These are women and men that are working on the streets, keeping the streets clean for all of us, and sometimes almost forgotten in a certain way. And those are the underserved people that we at Glow Foundation especially target.
It's a 4-week training program where the participants got trained in fashion designing, confectionery, digital skills, and bead making.
Driving economic and social progress.
This is not going to be a one-off thing, says Glow, as the empowerment program has set its sights on another area that needs upliftment.
All right, you're watching Newsline. Let's take a break. There'll be more when we come back. Welcome back. Now, love, legacy, and tradition came together in Katsina as Musa, son of late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, married Mariam Ayuba Shuaibu in a ceremony filled with emotion and elegance. The quiet love story, built on trust and mutual respect, blossomed into a lifelong commitment witnessed by dignitaries from across the country. From heartfelt prayers to warm embraces, it was a celebration not just of a couple, but of the enduring values of family and love. Ibrahim Belogunda was there for Newsline.
National Mosque Abuja played host to the wedding fatia of Musa, son of late President Umaru Yar'Adua, and his better half Mariam Ayuba Shuaibu, officiated by Sheikh Kabiru Muhammad. President Bola Tinubu, represented by Deputy Senate President Barrow Jibril, is the father of the groom, while Professor Bawura Barkindo gave out the hand of Mariam in marriage after fulfilling all Islamic rites. This time around, the popular This Day Bloom Event Center, Abuja, played host to a befitting dinner in honor of the latest couple, Musa and his missing rib, Mariam, and supported by family, friends, and close associates of late President Yar'Adua's family. It was a celebration galore with lots of entertainment, merriment, exchange of pleasantries from family and friends of the couple. The moment everyone has been waiting for, the cutting of the cake and the first dance of the couple, captivated everyone. For family and friends, the couple should build a peaceful home based on love, understanding, patience, respect, among others.
And I pray that Almighty Allah will guide them.
I'm sure for their pedigree, the parents, the kind of upbringing they've got, I'm very confident they'll do well.
The full of joy is the need for patience, sacrifice, and tolerance.
We are praying to the Almighty God to give them peace in their marriage and, of course, bless their home.
My prayer is for them to forever stay together
and God bless their union.
Allah bless them with children, with prosperity.
Well, my advice is for them to love each other, trust each other. And if there is any problem, they should solve it within themselves. They shouldn't bring any third party.
Today is a very, very blissful day for us. Mariam, she's a very kind and pleasant child.
I think the most important thing in a relationship is the fear of God.
To live peacefully, inshallah, is not going to be a problem for them.
The lovebirds could not hide their excitement as they shared their attraction and how they met.
Her personality, I think, was most important to me. So straight away, I could tell she was a very caring person, which was one of the first few things I noticed.
We met on social media, Instagram to be exact, and he slid into my DMs, and now we're here.
All right, and now you're here. All right, we wish you a blissful marriage. Now, the teenage years is a time of self-discovery. It's also a time of rebellion, emotional tug-of-war. For many families, it is a season when the once close bond between fathers and sons, of course, is tested. Now, what triggers this strain, and how can love find its way back through the noise of clashing egos and expectations? That's what our correspondent Ladi Bala delves to find out. And of course, she looks at real life stories, expert insights, and emotional terrain of father-son relationships. She also explores the cracks, the healing, and the hope.
Being a father goes beyond providing food on the table or paying school fees. It is about setting values, being a role model, and carrying the quiet burden of expectations both from the family and the society. In the early years, many fathers enjoy the adoration of their children, especially their sons. The bond is strong, filled with playful moments, pride, and hope for the future. But something begins to shift when those sons hit adolescence. The boy who once followed his father's every step may suddenly become withdrawn or even deviant.
Like to me, I prefer my mom to my dad because sometimes I don't feel like my mom can do some kind of sacrifice that my dad can do.
Their sense of judgment is not very clear, and they are necessarily at loggerheads with their fathers, the sons. But when they age and they are of age, they start having better understanding of life.
For many fathers, this sudden change could be painful and confusing. Why does the warm connection grow cold? What causes the tensions, and can this be fixed?
The male children, as they grow to become adolescents, there is a very big change in their life at that puberty level because their cognition tends to change. That is when they form their personality, and they tend to see their father as a competitor because they want to express their manhood. They want to show that I am a man. And the father does not always allow this. So the father becomes an opposition to this child.
It has to do with a family tradition, like they will call it, or something like an inherited parentage style. So, for example, the father can say, this is how my father brought me up, this is how he disciplined me, so this is how I want you to be. And when that happens, it becomes something like an imposition on the child. And so the child will not want it that way because he's learning something new, he wants something different. There will definitely be conflicts.
Some fathers admit they were never taught how to express emotions or show vulnerability, so they struggle to connect with sons who are going through emotional turbulence.
Fathers should learn how to correct with love. Even when you must have corrected this child out of anger, in your calm state, try to explain to the child why you have done what you did.
Interestingly, mothers often play a crucial role in mending these seemingly broken bonds. Their ability to interpret emotions and explain each side's actions can help sons see their fathers in good light. Fatherhood is not a destination. It is a lifelong journey. And while the teenage years may bring storms, they can also lay the foundation for a deeper, more matured father-son's relationship if handled properly and with care. When fathers and sons learn to see each other, not just through the lens of authority and rebellion, but through empathy and mutual respect, something beautiful happens.
Of course, Lady, and that's why we have decided to voluntarily allow the men to also have their days. So that's why you now have Father's Day. All right. Let's look at all the symbols, a symbol of national unity, and that's the NYSC. But its presence in Borno State faded, unfortunately, when insurgency forced the closure of the Maiduguri orientation camp there. Now, what used to be a joyful call to serve turned into fear and uncertainty. Now, school members avoided that state, but now we hear that fear is given way to renewed hope with security greatly improved. So, of course, the NYSC orientation camp we hear has also resumed, and court members from all 36 states of the Federation and the FCT are also back, bringing with them courage, optimism, and a sense of national rebirth. Pauline Kujivana again feels the pulse of some of them for us here on Newsline, just for you to see.
The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, was created in 1973 to promote peace and unity among young Nigerians after the Civil War, sending graduates to different parts of the country to serve and learn about other cultures.
The only alternative for us to live as a united front, to stand shoulder to shoulder with each other, to really adapt a federal structure for it to endow, is only for us to, recognize that the future generation, particularly those that are graduating from the universities and the other higher learning institutions of learning, are programmed to be what we call federalists.
At the peak of the insurgency, visiting Borno State for most people, for whatever reason, let alone National Youth Service, is only for the brave, owing to some obvious reasons.
As a national scheme, and based on the principles of homogenizing the heterogeneous nature of the Federal Republic, the NYSC did not shun, even for a year, to force coffers into the state. 1. 2, they temporarily closed down the orientation camp in Maiduguri. They were relocated to Katsina, I think. And then after their mobilization in Katsina, they are now posted down to Borno. And then they are posted usually, or they were posted usually, to relatively safer area under a careful scrutiny of the security agencies in order to ensure the safety and the security of the corps members.
With almost 2 decades down the line, what is the situation on ground?
We have a lot of corps members who were relocated, maybe out of pressure, but willingly came to us and seek advice that they want to cancel their relocation and they want to stay back in Borno. We have received them with open arms. The state government is working around the clock to ensure security and welfare of corps members.
Now, with peace slowly returning to Maiduguri, NYSC orientation is back, this time at a temporary site in Arabic Teachers College. At first, many corps members were scared as they had only heard of Borno as a dangerous place linked to Boko Haram. Some tried to redeploy, others came with fear and anxiety, but their experience turned out to be different.
So my perspective about Borno is that it's a very insecure place to live in. But it's peaceful here.
Before coming here, I've always known this state as one that has issues of insurgencies and crises. But one thing I really didn't know was that it's actually a very peaceful and serene state with very welcoming and hospitable people.
This return of NYSC to Maiduguri shows that peace has appreciably come back, giving hope to the people of Borno and Nigeria as a whole.
Brilliant, beautiful, and Ebony summed it all. Serene place, hospitable and peaceful people, that's Borno State for you. So let me ask you, what part of the chicken do you prefer? Well, personally, I love the laps and wings. And as an Igbo woman, you dare not touch the gizzard. I know that. And here's why. In the traditional Igbo society, the gizzard isn't just a chewy delicacy. It's a symbol of honor and respect. It's typically reserved for the male head of the household or even a highly esteemed guest. Now, giving it to someone else could stir serious tension, and I mean serious tension. Believe it or not, the gizzard has been at the center of family disputes, even strained a few marriages. So our next report by Delight Indikoye explores this unique culture where food and respect are served on the same plate. And, of course, let's listen to her.
The gizzard is found in the digestive tracts of birds and some other animals. Its primary function is to mechanically break down foods, acting as a substitute for the teeth. However, when this part of a chicken is cleaned and processed, the taste is said to be one of the most delicious parts in the chicken's body. As culture evolves, traditions also differ. Certain rights are reserved for some groups of people. According to cultural beliefs, there are some acts that appear forbidden and should not be violated. For instance, when a whole chicken is prepared in the family, the neck is regarded to belong to the men, likewise the anus and the breast. But the most sacred part is the gizzard, one of the smallest but essentially reserved for the men.
The Igbos take it as a special meat for elders, and only elders normally eat gizzard.
I could recall when I was much younger, if my mother killed any fowl, that particular part must be reserved for me, even if I'm around or I'm not around.
In a world where women comfortably walk into the supermarket and purchase packs of gizzards without so much as second thought, the once sacred symbol has become just another delicacy.
Really, some people has the belief that if a woman eats it, something will happen or that will happen. But to the best of our knowledge and what we have seen so far is a mark of respect, and men value it so much.
I don't eat gizzard, but sometimes I eat because after preparing chicken, I always reserve the gizzard for my husband.
There's nothing attached to it, but it shows that maybe the woman does not recognize the man as the head of the family, or maybe the elder son of the family. That is the way I understand it. We met it that way, and it continues to be.
While the cultural reverence has faded in many urban areas, remnants of traditions still linger in more conservative rural settings where older men continue to insist on their exclusive rights to the gizzard. It is therefore hoped that when respect is given to appropriate authorities, it creates a situation of peace and harmony.
Well, it's not just in Igbo traditional society. I know some men who would never take their meal without the gizzard. Don't ask me who. So why do people scramble for food at events? And why does a moment meant for sharing turn into a struggle for a plate? Is it hunger, habit, or something even deeper? Erika Ive explores the forces that drive people to go the extra mile, not just to eat at events, but also to live with takeaways.
Good food, whether enjoyed in the comfort of one's home or served at public gatherings, offers more than just nourishment. It brings comfort and relief to the body and soul. At social functions, expectations often run high. Guests look forward not just to the music or the fashion, but to the variety of delicacies that reflects cultural heritage or the host's generosity. But in many cases, what begins as a celebration quickly turns chaotic. Scenes of guests scrambling for food have become all too common. Why do people abandon etiquette and decorum once food is announced?
Whenever I attend a marriage and they are sharing food at that process and the food did not reach me, I feel so bad because I spent money. You understand? I spent money to buy shoe, buy clothes, look good, then go to the marriage. End of the day, I don't get anything.
I go change that for now. I don't understand. Like, after I don't spend everything for this hard economy, I don't agree for anybody. I go collect food. I been chopped too.
A lot of people are striving to survive. The organizers, they should try as much as possible to provide enough food, equally try to, manage the number of crowds that they have over there.
Respondents say food at events does more than fill stomachs. It fills hearts, fosters togetherness, strengthens family bonds, and creates lasting memories. But many also express concern, saying the practice of struggling for food in public tarnishes the spirit of celebration.
At times, man, no man, somebody who is sharing the food will not give people that he does not know, he or she does not know. You will see somebody that you don't know his face, you pass across that person, assuming that I don't know you, I'll cross that person and give to this man that I know. So most of the time, some of those people that you have not given that food to, when they see like that, they will wake up and say, okay, let me use, as by Spencer theory of evolution, survival of the fittest. Since you don't want to give me, let me use myself and get what I want.
They give the contract for food. They now use the opportunity now to store food and take home. All those things, I see those things, and mostly women.
When you go to a place and you are not being given food accordingly, based on how they share it, it doesn't get to you. You don't need to stand up.
Others argue that while food plays a vital role in uniting people and adding flavor to social and cultural occasions, it should be approached with dignity. Even in tough economic times, they say, good manners should not be sacrificed at the altar of hunger.
All right, someone here said that's a problem everywhere. It's a universal problem. It's not peculiar, to one place. And I agree. Now, they say everything has beauty. But like Ali and the angels, if you remember that folklore, only the eyes of the good can truly see the beauty, especially in women. Still, if beauty is said to come from within, then why the buzz when the woman chooses to enhance hers? I mean, from nose rings to lashes that could fan a flame and brows shaped like, earthwork. Today's woman isn't afraid to remix her looks. And it reminds me of my colleague, Annie Daniels. She's always sporting bold, beautiful choices. So, Annie, what caught your eyes this time?
Can you imagine a party like this without women in attendance? Highly unlikely. Women don't just attend events. They add color, class, and plenty of charm. From graceful dance steps to confidently flaunting their looks, their presence is unmistakable. Some even strut across the hall like it's a runway, proudly showcasing their beauty, confidence, and charisma. And honestly, I must confess, I'm often left in awe. Yes, I am. But not everyone is buying the picture of perfect image at face value. One observer claims that a number of women are now manufacturing their beauty with artificial curves, boosted busts, and snatched waists.
Some of them, they wear pad, that foam as artificial nyash. And by the time you remove it, some of them say you may even find out that they are men.
It's packaging. Some of my friends, they used to say that when they go home. That is not what they are seeing in the party, that is what they are seeing in their house.
There's no way you wear something like jean and your skin, definitely to show on your skin. But somebody with artificial bum, but it still look like something they pump.
Intrigued, I decided to investigate firsthand. And indeed, it's true. Welcome to the world of butt lifters, boost push-ups, and stomach girdles. All in high demand and often flying off shelves like party jollof rice.
This one is padded, non-detachable. You cannot detach it. This one here, you can detach it. That is, you can remove the foam. There is foam inside. So that is what brought out the hips and bum bum. So when they wear it, it will bring us more shape.
But are these beauty enhancers affordable?
This one in this market, we sell it 12,000. Like this, we sell it 10,000.
But this goes for the women that has a stomach. That's it. This one now, we normally sell these ones for 12,000.
This boldly covered respondent shares her perspective.
Like I said, I'm a Kwibom, so we don't need any extra enhancement. All of mine is natural.
Maybe when I'm going to a serious place, I can just package my breasts to look very nice and presentable.
Somebody see me with bum today and then tomorrow will not see me with it. It's just kind of shameful.
At the end of the day, true beauty lies not just in appearance, but in confidence, whether it is natural or enhanced. What matters is how it makes one feel and how she carries it. As for me, beauty is about being comfortable in your own skin. I know I am beautiful and so is Claire, but who knows, Claire might still need a little help enhancing what she already has.
What will they think of next? Please look before you leap. Let's take a break. Thank you, Annie. Welcome back to Newsline on the network service. Now, 5 years may have passed, but the name Tolulokpe Arotile still echoes. Brilliant, bold, but gone too soon. At just 24, Nigeria's first female combat helicopter pilot left behind not just a uniform, but a legacy of courage and inspiration. In Lokoja, her family, friends, and well-wishers gathered in solemn thanksgiving, choosing to remember her not in pain, but in purpose. Ajibola Christopher was also there.
Flying Officer Tolulokpe Arotile, one of the Nigeria's finest and first female combat helicopter pilot, though dead, her memory remains alive. The memorial service at the Methodist Church Lokoja in her honor enables her parents, family members, and relations rekindle her legacies, appreciating God for her accomplishments, particularly lifting and writing the name of the family in gold in the country during her short lifetime.
Even as a family, when we talked to her, and when she was on the operations and everything, when we tell her, Tolulokpe, be careful. He said, there's nothing I can do. My office asked me to go. And the next for me is to go. The only thing is for you to just pray for me. And we are praying for her. That is to say, is what God has planned for her.
In a message, Pastor Michael Lawal, founder of Solution Church Lokoja, commended the Arotiles family for keeping the memory of their late daughter alive, emphasizing that her legacies will continue to remain indelible in the test of time, most especially her commitment becoming the first female combat helicopter pilot in the country.
I said it's the will of God for her to go and rest. I love her so much because she's a child of God to the core. But this young lady came and shook the world.
She's supposed to be protected, she was not. When it became a court case, I said, okay, well, let's see whether we'll be able to see justice. Till today, nothing. That boy was not jailed. The case it was not concluded up to now. So it's for me, I'm still as bitter as ever. I'm not happy with them at all.
It's a great loss to the community, to the states, and to Nigeria, even to the entire world. Because it's a very strong little girl. She looks small in stature, but she has a very big God in her. And she dare anything dareable.
As the first female combat helicopter pilot in the country, late Tolulokpe Arotile contributed significantly to combat operations against insurgency in the northern part of Nigeria. She died from a head injury sustained in an accident in Kaduna 5 years ago.
May her soul rest in peace. Now, this fellow was also a beacon of hope for many, a man of rare values and a quiet achiever, whose life left lasting imprint on everyone he encountered. Now, those were words by family and friends at the ancient town of Umunede in Ika, northeast local government area of Delta State, where family members and sympathizers gathered to honor the passing of Sir Edwin Osuho. From church pews filled with manners to quiet tears shed in hushed corners, the atmosphere reflected deep reverence for a man whose name inspired trust and admiration. Here is Chinyere Okoli with details.
The final journey home for the revered Sir Edwin Ogomebulam Osuho commenced not with silence but with songs. It was indeed a stirring service at St. Mary Vianney Catholic Church, Asaba, one which celebrated not just faith but a fulfilled life. The service paved way for a night of tribute where those whose lives were touched by the departed gathered to testify, with voices thick with emotion, yet uplifted by cherished memories. They painted a vibrant portrait of a man deeply loved. Their stories were heartfelt and they were many. The processions were punctuated by special musical renditions. The auditorium of Regina Sally Catholic Church, Umunede, in Eka Northeast, venue for the funeral mass was filled to the brim as friends, legal associates, political leaders, Rotarians, golfers, among other personalities, gathered to honor and bid farewell to a legal icon, a member of the Knights of St. Mulumba, a golfer par excellence, and a Rotarian, late Sir Edwin Ogomebulam Osuho. From the pulpit, the officiating priest, Very Reverend Father David Mario Dibie, extolled the virtues of the late legal luminary, charging those present to always prepare for death.
You can conquer these sudden things, this reality that is so powerful, if you can conquer procrastination. There is no time.
All the excitement of life is with him, so I'm really going to miss him.
He was a great man who loved God and served God with all his heart.
He was a very fair and just man. Integrity was his watchword, and he was very, very, very kind.
He's a lion, his character, his personality is larger than life,
What I'm going to miss the most about him is his laughter.
My dad was a courageous man. He was a teachable man. He was like a know-it-all.
A very great man. And he has highly influenced everybody around him.
He was such a loving, kind man.
He's transparently good, very generous human being.
It's a time for us to have a reflection in our life and our ways.
Was very outspoken, was a great man.
Sir Edwin was finally laid to rest in the intimate embrace of his children and closest kin, a final earthly welfare steeped in love. Known as Umunede, pioneering legal mind, a committed Rotarian, and above all, a man whose life was a testament to service, excellence, and enduring power of human connection. His memory resonates in the lives he touched and the community he helped to shape.
Now, the word of mouth, once a bond sealed by trust, is fast losing its value. Across cities and towns, a wave of frustration is rising, not from strangers, but from people many depend on the most. We're talking about artisans, from tailors who never deliver to carpenters who vanish after collecting advance payments. Countless Nigerians are battling the heartbreak and financial setbacks of unkept promises. For many, it's no longer about poor service, but a betrayal of trust and a culture that normalizes disappointment. Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa captures voices that echo the growing disillusionment with a system where promises are made and broken with no consequences.
Meet Abbas Haleru, who recently hired a tailor to stitch clothes for an upcoming event. The tailor assured him that the clothes will be ready in 3 days, but the pickup dates came and went, and Abbas was left with nothing but empty promises. Unfortunately, Abbas' experience is not a one-off incident. Many others, including Ibrahim, have had similar dealings with skilled workers like mechanics, carpenters, and electricians, among others.
Even if they know they cannot fulfill the promises because of one reason or the other, they will not tell you. They will only collect your money. It was later on that I discovered that they do not do what we agreed on. They cheated me. I'm so disappointed.
Sometimes these skilled men take money for services and disappear or render poor quality jobs. They book their services, promise the world, but deliver nothing but excuses and delays. So what's encouraging this ugly trend? Could it be laziness, greediness, lack of accountability or responsibility, or even poverty as believed by some people?
Sometimes it is the pressure to do the quality work at low price.
Moreover, the pressure to deliver quality work while keeping costs low, they say, can be overwhelming, leading to shortcuts and broken promises. However, there is also a human element at play. Skilled workers are often small business owners or solo operators, juggling multiple projects and clients. They may overcommit themselves to make ends meet or due to optimism bias, leading to disappointment. These clerics tell us what religion says about this ugly trend.
It is very important to keep to promise by keeping to promise. A hadith said you are eaten from what is pure.
The inability to be faithful is a choice. One chooses to just be unfaithful in treating his customers. The Bible does not support that.
For Abbas and Ibrahim, the experiences were frustrating, but they learned the importance of having a contingency plan B. What do you think? Have you had a similar experiences with skilled workers, and how did you manage it?
Well. And just like that, we've danced through memory and, of course, tradition and desire. Newsline may be done for today, but the stories linger like old tunes that refuse to fade. And speaking of fades, now someone said to me once, and Claire, all this talk about natural beauty is fine, it's noble, but even nature wears makeup. Have you seen the rainbow or the sky at sunset? Honestly, life, it's not always about finding yourself. Honestly, sometimes it's also about tweaking, just a little edit, and maybe good lighting. However, whether you are a Team Couture or Team Culture, just make sure you glow from within. Keep glowing authentically, or at least convincingly. Good night, everyone.